What's up, guys? We are coming back for attempt number 2 at episode 2 of the More Than a Conversation podcast. And once again, we're joined by Forever the Arrowverse.
That is me.
And sorry about what happened last time we tried to stream this, but come to find out, when you go to live stream, make sure you're connected to the correct Wi-Fi network instead of one all the way across the building you're inside of. Yeah, because that kind of messes with things just a tad bit. But here I was about to blame the weather here in Georgia, but come to find out it's just me on the wrong internet. So my apologies.
Bro, I feel like every single 4th of July, it just rains for like 4 days straight. We can never enjoy the holiday.
Bro, y'all need to tune into my YouTube channel this week because I'm going to be uploading a YouTube video on our 4th of July celebration. And the church that I do the 4th of July with every year, we go in and we spend a few $1,000s on them Alabama fireworks. And so we really make it rain on 4th of July at the church.
Wow.
So
Crazy.
it's gonna be really big, spectacular, and so I'll be recording it and trying to upload it on the YouTube channel, and if not, make fun
Is
of
that
me in
gonna
the comments of the next video.
is that gonna be your face reveal?
No, it's not.
Uh,
Not
you're
yet.
gonna let everybody else be in the video but you.
Well, how the video is probably going to go is I'm going to be standing back, and then I will be kind of like recording, looking at the sky when the fireworks launch. And so you won't really see people, like you'll hear people and you might see a couple people, but the
I
angle I'm
gotcha.
going to try and record from, I don't think it'll pick too many people up. Yeah. Face reveal, I will say this. At 100 subs, I'm going to announce when I'm going to be doing my face reveal. So once we reach 100 subscribers, I'll announce the official time that I'll be doing a face reveal. And so, guys, tell your friends, family, go subscribe to Generally Minecraft. I'm trying to upload as much content as possible, and I hope you're enjoying the podcast. So, all right, just like in the first attempt we had at this, we are going to be talking about Fast 10 first. Now, quick disclaimer before we get into talking about Fast 10. We announced last week that we would be covering The Flash this week, but due to some circumstances that came about last week and some scheduling problems, we were unable to get everything set up for The Flash. But me and Forever actually went to the theater together and watched Fast 10, and man, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, the internet loves to hate this franchise, but
I mean, there's only so many times that you can see Dom Toretto jump off a bridge in his Charger and just hook onto a cable and swing across a ravine or something before.
well, for you, it was your first time. So,
For me, I wasn't there in the beginning where it was a lot more racing or whatever it was, because that's what I tend to hear, that in those early films it was a lot of racing. But
yeah, street racing.
as it's gone to the later films, it's become more action movies.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah. Look,
It's Hollywood.
they'll have me until Dom Toretto unlocks a time machine and goes back in time to make 10 more Fast movies.
Where did that go from?
I have no idea. It was a rumor I saw on Twitter one day. It was a meme someone posted that said, "Oh yeah, in the next Fast movie, Dom Toretto is gonna discover a time machine and go back in time so he can make 10 more Fast movies."
Could you imagine if Dom Toretto made a time machine and then goes back in time and then his time machine breaks, but it's actually with Marty McFly, so he asks to borrow the DeLorean?
Gets in a street race with Marty
Gets into a
McFly.
street race with Marty McFly.
Winner gets a DeLorean.
Bro, that would be hilarious.
Says it's in the name of family. But no, if I'm being quite frank with myself, I had never really got into the Fast franchise. It just wasn't one of those films that I grew up watching. Like my family, we were more than likely to go watch the next big Marvel film or watch one of the Transformers films or get excited about something else, while Fast, it was kind of just always in the back burner, and it was something that like your dad might be watching alone at night before he went to bed that evening. And so I never was really able to sit down and enjoy the franchise. But
Right.
as I've grown up, I will say that I have taken time to try and watch bits and pieces of the Fast franchise.
Now, after Fast X, do you think you're actually going to go back and watch all the other ones?
I don't know if I'll go back like all the way, but if I definitely like if I'm scrolling trying to find a film on TV and I see like Fast 7 is playing or like Fast 6, I might log in and or not log in, but sit down and just watch that or find a streaming platform they're on, and if I'm bored one day, sit down and watch them. But
You're just not going to go out of your way to.
yeah, I'm not gonna
Watch.
go out of my way, especially because like when you're 10 films deep,
Mm-hmm.
it's tough to convince yourself to go all the way back to the first film and start rewatching them all again.
I mean, not necessarily.
I mean, no, but like it would be the equivalent to someone who's never seen Star Wars before, and then you say, and then they go in and like watch the latest film to come out, and they enjoy it. So you tell them, oh, you need to go watch the 9 to 12 other films about Star Wars to fully understand the story.
I feel like you're attacking me on that one.
I'm not attacking you.
I feel like you are.
I'm not.
I got midway through Anakin's trilogy, okay?
Okay, so you got halfway through Attack of the Clones, or did you make it to Revenge of the Sith?
Attack of the Clones is the second movie in
Yeah,
the trilogy.
yeah.
So I was like 45 minutes away from finishing that film.
Dang.
So I didn't make it to Revenge of the Sith, but I heard Revenge of the Sith is like the best one.
Revenge of the Sith is always the best one. I don't care what anyone says. I think the debate between
Oh, in
the best.
in that trilogy or like Star Wars in general?
I would for
Because I
me.
really loved Empire Strikes Back.
For me, it's best one in all of Star Wars. But a lot of people do love Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope just for the nostalgia aspect of them.
Mm-hmm.
And who knew we would turn a podcast about Fast 10 into talking about Star Wars?
Who knew? I mean,
Who
it
knew?
is Star Wars though.
It is Star Wars, though. Really big franchise. And you already know Disney's trying to milk it to the core. Especially with announcing the 3 new Daisy Ridley films coming out.
The sad thing is they don't have to milk it.
Yeah, they don't.
People just think they're milking it because they keep writing bad stuff. It's the same thing with Marvel and DC right now. They just can't write a good movie right now.
Right.
People will come at me for that, for saying Guardians 3 wasn't good, but I haven't seen it yet, okay, guys?
I enjoyed Guardians 3, to be honest. I mean, it was a little goofy, but then again, it was James Gunn directing it, and he kind of has a track record of making some goofy films.
Bro, we could talk about James Gunn and the head of DC for like hours, but we're not. Maybe we could cover that in a future pod.
Yeah, definitely in a future pod. But to get back on Fast 10, what were some of the strong points you noticed in this film, and what were some of the weak points you noticed, Arrow?
So, the strong points, I feel Dom and Brian, which is, Little B, as they referenced throughout the movie. Just seeing him in the father aspect role. you know?
Yeah.
They preach family all the time throughout the film and the franchise, and But that was nice to see. It was strong. I think Little B was like the highlight of the film. I think he was
Yeah.
great.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I love John Cena, so
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem. I have a problem with what they did to his character in the film.
Yeah.
But is he dead? Is he not dead? That's a question. That
Um.
would be.
Well, the question is, it is a fast film, and for some
Yeah.
reason, you can't kill a character in the fast films.
Right.
They always come back
Right.
for some reason.
Yeah, but who knows? I don't think he will.
I mean, dude
It's
landed
fast.
in his car upside down, and it legitimately exploded.
He had cannons in his car, bro. He's toast.
He's toast. I mean, when you think about
Um,
like all the missiles that were on the back of that car, there ain't no
Bro.
way when that thing landed upside down, the homie.
You know what's the sad thing is Dom's Dom, bro. He was gonna get through all that regardless if there was a massive explosion or not.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna clear the way, and then goes and does that ridiculous crap. And I was like, dude, it's Dom. He was gonna find a way to get through all that.
I mean, we literally watched him. What was it earlier? Rip two helicopters out of the sky or something like that.
Yeah.
As
Oh,
seen in
my
that
God.
slide. Like,
Jason Momoa was really nice.
oh my gosh, his character throughout the film was
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious. It could have been notched like a notch down.
Yeah, they really.
Some of it was overkill, like him like painting nails on like two dead guys while
Yeah.
talking to them.
Mhm.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah. But I think that the whole time they're trying to point that it's not that he's just really goofy, but dude's also like freaking psychotic.
Yeah, yeah, but that was the whole point.
Yeah.
He was in and out of mental hospitals, so that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
Some lows. Some unnecessary fight scenes
Yeah.
between Letty and Cypher. That
Yeah.
was kind of dumb. Like they were trapped and they were like, "Oh, we need to work together to get out." And then
Starts fighting each other.
it's right. It was so that's annoying.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, we need to work together. They start working together, then they get into a fight, and then they start working together again. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't need that, but at the end of the day, they wanted to like resolve the beef between them somehow instead of them just working
Right.
together. I guess
Right.
because the only way to solve beef is to just punch each other in the face until it's all good.
I do think the film juggled a lot of different storylines with like the entire crew being broken up into like different places throughout
Yeah.
the world.
Mm-hmm.
Which was fine because it is a 2-part movie, so I understand.
Wasn't it a 3-part?
It could be a 3-part. Probably not though, because instead of okay, so that cliffhanger, no, well, not the cliffhanger, but the post-credit scene with The Rock coming back.
Yeah.
That was probably why Vin Diesel said that it's been changed to a 3-parter, but they're actually giving The Rock a spin-off movie before part 2.
Oh,
comes
so
out.
it'll kind of be like a
So-
Hobbs and Shaw part 2
And it
type
sets
deal,
up
maybe.
part 2 for the film.
All right.
So, unless you want to count that as like another part, but it's not like actually titled
All right.
Fast X Part whatever.
Yeah.
So,
It's just like Marvel movies where you got to watch the other movies to understand what's going on.
kind of, but
Yeah. This one's a little more direct.
yeah, it wasn't that hard. Like if you never saw another Fast film.
Yeah.
And it did a great job with like telling you the important details from Fast 5 that you needed to know
Mm-hmm.
going into the movie. So it didn't do a bad job with just saying, all right, if nobody's seen any of these other movies, like you still understand
Yeah.
to a certain degree. I mean, so and then Mia wasn't used as much as I would have liked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, other than that, I really don't have any complaints. Like, people are going to say, oh, well, Dom shouldn't be able to take down two helicopters or whatever. And I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Well, but what do you mean? He had the power of nitrous
who
because nitrous
cares?
gave his car the ability to do
As
that.
I'm like, why do you care? Like, you don't care that Captain America can hold a helicopter back with his forearm, but you care that Dom could take down two with a car? I mean, it's Hollywood. These things are supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be living in something that is theoretically impossible to do.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like people who cry for realism
Yeah.
cry when the movie gives you realism.
Yeah, they cry for realism,
Um,
but then at the end of the day, if it's something that's so real, then it's just like, oh, this was a boring movie.
Right. Movies are made for people to escape and not tell them their real life problems.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I liked it, but again, I love this franchise, so I mean,
Yeah, it's not
I
really.
was gonna, I was gonna like it regardless.
Yeah. And see, like me, like I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I mean, like I said earlier, I have yet to see a full Fast film unless you want to put Hobbs and Shaw in the mix, but I don't think you could really count that. Um,
That's unfortunately a spinoff.
yeah,
I
unfortunately,
mean, it wasn't.
that's the only
It's
one I've
probably
seen the
not
whole
even-
thing. Like,
Yeah.
and I've seen the entire Hobbs and Shaw several times, but I haven't seen one Fast film all the
You
way
were pretty
through.
happy when Shaw made an appearance, were you?
Yes, I was pretty happy.
You were like, I know that guy. And you just happened to see that, and you were like, all right.
What that Marty McFly meme they use? Like, I've seen this before. uh,
Back on this Marty McFly stuff, huh?
yeah, I mean that's a callback, you know. But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the action sequences because, like, yes, there was some that was over dramatized, but that's what Fast Ten is or that's what Fast and Furious is becoming. Um, a lot of overblown kind of action sequences that
Mhm.
puts you in the movie world.
Mhm. Right. Yeah. Like
And
somebody
what,
drops a bomb in Rome, ain't nobody doing nothing but Dom. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, and dude, what drove his car off a bridge and into a crane to knock the bomb into the water to save
That's
Vatican just
crazy.
in time, and his car is perfectly fine enough to still outrun several cars going down the street.
That's American horsepower. For
That's
you.
that's American muscle right there. What do you mean? Good
No,
old
but
fashioned.
I give it a 4 star. It's an 8 out of 10. It's not
Yeah.
great. I do have my problems with it, but
Mm-hmm. What
you
is
know, I feel like outside of pacing and juggling so many different storylines,
yeah,
that's
and
pretty
now
much its only problem.
and then also the big reveal at the end of the film.
The cliffhanger,
Yeah,
if you will.
yeah, the cliffhanger, bringing the submarine back and bringing another character back from the dead. Um,
Yet another.
Yet another. So that just kind of seems to be the track record with this franchise, but that they have a track record of it, so you can't really get mad at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, definitely enjoy the film. I think I'll do the same thing like you, give it an 8 out of 10, 4 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because I enjoyed the film. I laughed. I was on the edge of my seat. And who knows, maybe I even shed a tear when John Cena did
Kick the bucket.
rocket jump front flip to take out a couple cars.
Bro put a cannonball inside the bucket before he kicked it.
Gosh. Bro went down like Evil Knievel style.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Daddy's money.
Daddy's money.
That's an inside joke.
Yes. If you've seen Fast 10, you know what it talks about because there's definitely a character in that film that depicts that so much. that daddy's money character. But if you haven't seen it yet, you just got to go see the film for yourself to understand. So I think that basically concludes our review of Fast 10, because the one reason I wanted to end it at this moment is because we have a slew of stuff that we still need to show you guys next. But as we said, both of us thoroughly enjoyed Fast 10. Awesome movie, like I said. Had
Senior, if you ever watch this, please come back.
What?
I said, John Cena, if you ever listen to this, please come back.
Please come back. Please. Please.
Please.
But to get you ramped up for our next topic, this was something we did mention last week. We said that due to the situation in the NBA with free agency opening up, that we might have an NBA topic back to back. So wouldn't you know it? But topic number 2 for today is NBA free agency and trade deadlines.
Yeah, we're probably going to have an NBA topic again next week.
Probably. We'll probably just end up talking about NBA all week until the season actually starts.
Bro, these free agent signings, bro.
For real. And so, basing everything off of this image alone, that lets us know that our first topic of the day is going to be Mr. Fred VanVleet. And I'm getting that set up. My mouse doesn't want to click it. There we go. Fred VanVleet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about his deal?
Overpaid.
Overpaid?
I don't think he's worth that kind of money.
Really?
But he did get signed to the Rockets, and they don't, these lesser teams who just don't have superstars right now and can afford those type of contracts for anyone.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's definitely not a move that puts the Rockets in any title
contention
runs, contentions. They're probably still not even gonna make the play-in next year. So
yeah, for the Rockets,
he got the bag. I mean, he wasn't doing anything with the Raptors anyway. Make the bag.
Yeah. He's basically just like I would say I mentioned it last week. In all the fantasy basketball leagues, I like picking up Drew Holiday because he's a guy that can rack up some fantasy points. And I would say the same thing about Fred VanVleet, that he's a man that, he's a good backup to your starting point guards and shooting guards in fantasy leagues. And I'd probably say he's a good guy definitely he's a good fit for the Rockets. I would say simply because they need some veterancy. And Fred VanVleet, he was there when the Raptors won the championship with Kawhi Leonard, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so he knows what it's like to win a championship. And so he's going to bring that veterancy to the team. And then I think he's going to try and help them out a lot. Like you said, I don't think they're going to be in title contention yet unless they get some other really good pieces. But saying that, I think that the Rockets are probably going to settle unless they strike up some big three-way trade with another team. But at that point, you'll probably see the Rockets losing either Alpi or Kevin Porter Jr., which is their two top guys right now.
I'm not saying in a couple years that they won't be a good team, but these guys got to develop first.
Yeah, totally.
It's just a waiting game. I mean, bringing in an NBA champion, someone who's been in the league, to give them some type of insight for the younger guys. I mean, it's not a bad move by any means, but just a little bit more money than maybe they should have paid for him.
Right, because that's definitely going to be limiting the Rockets and the money that they can spend on other players. And so VanVleet, I think he's going to be a help to them, but I will say probably overpaid. Probably most definitely overpaid. But at the end of the day, it's the Rockets, and they're not really getting a whole lot of guys with big contracts going
Right.
on right now.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so bringing it back to our fancy little image, the next player we're going to be talking about is going to be Kyrie Irving, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
pulling his file up now. Um, but Kyrie, a lot can be
Mm-hmm.
said about Kyrie, and you'll notice this man's been moving around a lot lately, from team to team to team to team. I've made sure to pull up some of the photos.
I mean, he's had valid reasons to leave each
Right.
team. So, I mean, people
Yeah.
are hard on Kyrie for no reason, to be honest.
Right.
Uh, but I will say I was kind of shocked that he did decide to re-sign with the Mavericks.
Yeah.
So I thought he was going to the Suns for sure. I thought that was like a done deal. Like I thought he was gonna go back to play with KD. Like that was the rumors and everything.
Right.
But I'm glad he re-signed with the Mavericks because I think him and Luca could do some special things next year for sure.
Especially because I think I saw something like how many games did they even play together? I think I saw something that they only played like 15 to 18 games together.
Maybe not even that.
No, actually it was 16 because I remember it was a poll that got put up, or it was a post that got put up right after he
Mm-hmm.
signed with the Mavericks again, and said that
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie and Luca together won 5 or won 5, lost 11.
Right. But Luca was dealing with injuries.
Right.
Plus Kyrie coming in, new dynamic. They needed some time to mesh.
Right.
That's all it was.
And so I'm really
They'll figure it
hoping
out.
I'm really hoping that, having this summertime, letting them heal up and then letting them hit the practice together, let them shoot around, get used to playing together, start working on some playmaking.
Yeah.
And come up with a game plan to tackle this next season.
Yeah, it is a stacked West, so we'll see. But I am glad he re-signed with the Mavericks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to see, what all he's going to be doing over there. Because I feel like he's done all right on every team he's really been on. I think he did good when he was on Cleveland. He headed up the Celtics for a while. I didn't think we really got to see him blossom in Boston, or not Boston, Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Simply to do A, that was when COVID was ramping up, and B, his whole situation and his stance against the vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
causing him to only play half the games, which didn't give him a whole lot of play time and didn't really let him shine.
And when he did come back, he was dealing with the injuries too. So
Yeah, so we never really got to see him sign or pop off on the Nets to say, but
someone that might not be on that graphic, I don't know, but Seth Curry also signed a deal with the Mavericks.
right. I
Just
forgot
one
to
on the
add him to the
Mavericks.
list because me and another one of our buddies that may make some guest appearance on this podcast coming soon. We monitored trades and all that all yesterday. That's
Yeah.
kind of just what we did yesterday. Is we kind of just sat there and monitored that, and just made sure who was staying where, who was going new.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so basically, we monitored it to try and stay on top of everything, but a lot of interesting stuff happened. Like you said, a lot of people re-signing and a lot of people going to new places, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was definitely an interesting dynamic, and it's cool seeing how much things have already changed up.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing like the new faces on the new teams, like we talked.
Literally, everyone is getting the bag. It's so crazy.
Yeah, like there is several big, and I mean big.
Except for Westbrook, as you can see from that graphic.
Yeah, from that graphic, Westbrook's not doing good. But bringing up our fancy little slide again, you'll be seeing it in the background. But our next topic that we are going to be covering is going to be none other than Reeves himself. This guy, we saw him do some pretty good things last season.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
this was a guy that I hadn't heard about at all, and then all of a sudden I started hearing about Reeves hits game-winning shot. Reeves puts up insane numbers.
Hmm.
Reeves has his best scoring night, and so suddenly, like this guy just went from I had no idea about him to he started getting talked about in sports, kind of like how I talked about Kevin Herter last week. But this guy,
Hmm.
he kind of just to me came out of nowhere, and then kind of just took the spotlight as being a dominant shooter.
Yeah. The LeBron effect,
Mm-hmm.
what I like to call it. LeBron draws so much defensive pressure. AD draws so much defensive pressure.
Opens
And
up them
even
point
D'Lo
guards.
draws somewhat defensive pressure. So, you know, kick it out, shoot it, you know. But Reeves is a good player. Like, and this contract is a steal. Like 4 years, $56 million. Like that's a
Yeah,
steal.
and like I don't know how much, but like how much was his last contract?
I'm pretty sure he's still on his rookie contract, so it wasn't that much.
Yeah. So probably one of those things where it was like a few 100,000 or something like that,
Something.
or
I
like
don't
seven
know.
hundred
And
thousand.
probably like a few million a year. I don't. I think the minimum. I think the rookie contract minimum's gone up. It
Really?
used to be. Yeah.
Because I thought rookie contract was like at least 700K for a year or something like that.
Yeah. I'm not. Who knows? I
Who
mean,
knows? But not. But what the it doesn't. His rookie contract doesn't matter in a year. But he has just signed a really good deal for his like first major deal.
hmm.
Um, I would say,
I,
and he did
I
well on it.
I think he definitely. I think he definitely decided to take that pay cut because he could have got more money elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he wanted to stay with LeBron and this Lakers team. So great for the Lakers. I mean, and then Reese, while we're on it, re-signing D'Lo was great too. So
Yeah.
Lakers have made some moves in this off season.
Oh yeah.
They signed Cam Reddish. That was a
Wait,
good
Lakers got
deal.
Cam Reddish?
Yeah, they signed him for like, ooh, what was it? I don't know, like $8 million, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was a good deal. So yeah.
Yeah. So now coming up next after Reeves, we have got Bruce Brown.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this quick. Bruce Brown's an idiot.
Really?
Yeah, you just won a team. You just won a chip with the Denver Nuggets, and you go to freaking Indiana Pacers for 2 years on like $40 million. Come on, come on. Why are you leaving a championship winning team? You know at least they're gonna be top seeded next year. They're a good team.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't. But I mean, you want the money. You want the money. What can you say?
Yeah, what can you say? I mean, money changes people. I mean, but then again, at the end of the day, he might have made this decision simply because he's got his championship now. And now he's probably wanting to go somewhere that he can try and build up another team or try and take the spotlight. Because, if you're basically on the Denver Nuggets, you're always going to be behind Jokic's shadow and.
Sure, but he goes to the Pacers. He's behind Halliburton, Tyrese Halliburton, or whatever. And
Right.
then they just traded for Obi Toppin, so he's third option already.
Right.
Miles Turner, that's fourth option. He's fourth option.
Now, he definitely could have done better on where he went, but I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this.
Yeah, I don't. I think he just jumped the gun. To be honest, I think he took the first offer that was that his agent gave him.
Yeah, like it didn't like. Mm,
Not a smart call, in my opinion, but
yeah, definitely.
that's what free agency does for you.
Yeah, that's definitely. But people they get those money offers, and before you know it, they're just like they see what is it, the $45 million for a 2 year contract. I mean, just look at our list we've got. He's only joining two other guys in a 2 year contract.
In this list specifically right now,
in this list
I'm
specifically,
sure.
there
I'm
probably
sure
is definitely more.
Yeah.
But just looking at the two other guys on this list that are 2 year contracts,
Right.
we have Westbrook and D'Lo.
I'm okay with players not signing 4 or 5 year contracts.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because let's be honest, most players play 2 years and they're like, all right, I'm out. I want to go. So signing 2 to 3 year contracts, that gives you way more flexibility to say, hey, I'll give you 2 years, but if we do nothing in 2 years, I can leave on my own merit without having to force trade out.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm not mad at 2 year contracts.
Me either.
I'm mad at a 2 year contract for a team that has no winning probability versus a team that you just won a championship with.
For real. Like it would be a thing if like you did good on that championship team. I don't know. I haven't really heard about Bruce Brown much, but is he even really a good player?
He was a crucial part to them winning.
Well, sounds like he was. So, it looks like he did really well on the Nuggets, and it would have made sense if he went off to another team that he could have taken the spotlight on. If I was something like, but listen to this though. If my team won the championship, I got that championship ring, and I'll be able to tell my children and generations to come that I was a champion.
Sure.
I would, if I was in the shoes and I saw a team that doesn't really have a whole lot of star power. I already know that I'm a good player. There's teams out there with not a lot of star power, and I can go to that team and I can make a name for myself on that team. I can see it. But going to the Pacers, like you said, where he's already got all these guys in front of him, he's going to have to show up and show out on the Pacers to move to that starting lineup, and not just move to the starting lineup, but to take command of the team.
I don't even think he's going to start. Damn. Halliburton, Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, that shooter, what's his name? He played on the Kings. I'm blanking. I know who he is.
I knew Halliburton was from the Kings, but
yeah, they shipped them both to Indiana for Sabonis.
Barnes?
No. Barnes has been on Sacramento for a while.
Yeah.
He played on Sacramento with Halliburton.
But anyway.
Anyway, on to the next one, Draymond. Let's talk about Draymond.
Let's talk about Draymond and this whole fun situation with him.
I knew it was coming. I knew he was resigning.
Yeah.
I don't know if I covered this last week, but it was definitely a me or him situation. And once Jordan Poole got traded, that was it. You knew he was going to get re-signed. 4 years for $100 million. That's a steal.
Yeah.
I mean, Draymond's a great defensive player. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. And like
Warriors, you said, Warriors knew they wouldn't be whole without Draymond. So
yeah, Draymond's one of those. He's kind of been a crucial piece of the Warriors lineup for a while with his defense.
Yeah.
And that's what we and you kind of talked about last week. Now seeing CP3 go to the Warriors, we knew that the Warriors were going to need a Draymond Green defense to kind of help them level out with all them good shooters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've
Yeah.
got Clay, Curry, and Paul around the arc, you're going to need two guys in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to be able to get physical with people, get the rebounds, and not just that, but even on the defensive glass, you're going to need two guys down in the paint that's going to be able to stop that, stop scoring in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing that. I think it was the year that the Warriors won the championship.
2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah, 2022.
No, wait. Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
They won 2022.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, watching him that, and I actually watched him bully some big centers in the league in that whole series.
Yeah, he just needs to channel his aggression a little bit,
Yeah,
dial it down a bit. But other than that, I mean, he's probably how old is he? I don't know how old he
oh yeah,
is.
he's getting on up
He's
there.
30. He's 30 something. So this 4-year contract's probably it for him.
Yeah,
I would assume so. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's not Draymond's not much to talk about. I mean,
yeah, he's not much to talk back, but especially because he's not really that offensive player.
Right.
He's not that guy that's going to come up and he's going to put up big point numbers for you every night. He's that guy.
Right.
He's going to come up there and he's going to beat some people up and he's going to cuss you out for it.
Yeah. Still good technical foul game, but
yeah. But at the end of the day, that's Draymond. That's what he's got known for.
yeah.
And we saw another player on this list who started picking up some Draymond characteristics last season.
We're skipping straight to Dylan Brooks, huh?
Not yet, but that's foreshadowing. But
I mean, Kuzma's not much to talk about either. I
Yeah.
mean, 4 years, 102 million. Got in the bag, but it's not that big of a bag.
yeah, and where does he head? He's still staying in Washington.
Yeah, he's still staying in DC, so
Yeah, who knows?
I
Maybe
mean-
he'll take that 102 million and buy him some more fancy outfits to show up to the games with. But one that I do want to take some time and talk about is the Jamari Grant.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of heated about this.
I have my Draymond side.
This man is not worth $160 million.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. But
So bad. It's so bad that Damian Lillard requested a trade today,
yeah,
which I'm pretty sure that was in the making for a while. But
forever. You kind of just spill your heat about that situation. I've got to make a phone call real quick, so I'll come back. Entertain the entire audience.
bro, how long you gonna be, bro?
Probably a couple minutes.
Anyway, guys, Jeremy Grant not worth $160 million. That's just an absurd contract. Yeah, I mean, Portland for you. Damian Lillard asks for help. You can pay him this. So, while this man's gone, comment. Way to let your bro down in the comments. So he'll be lost when he gets comments. If you haven't followed my Instagram already, please do so. If you hear from my Instagram, thank you. I don't know what's taking this man so long to get back from a phone call.
What do you mean? I was out 57 seconds tops.
Whoa, hey bud, you back?
Yes.
Oh, hello. How much of that did you hear?
Only the part, why is it taking this man so long to come back?
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. But just saying, if you're gonna come record a podcast upstairs, you need to tell your mom that you're going upstairs because she's been sitting in her bedroom and suddenly she starts hearing a bunch of noise coming from upstairs and she thinks there's someone walking around the church.
Your mom called you?
Yeah, my mom called me thinking that there was a criminal or a theft going on in the sanctuary. Because I forgot to mention that I was going to go upstairs to record my podcast.
It's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny, but she's kind of terrified right now. So,
why?
Because my mom, she gets really nervous when there isn't a lot of people here, because it's a big church that we're staying in, and the church isn't located in really good part of town.
This is your church?
Yeah, this is my church. It's not really located in the best part of town. There was actually a shooting in the subdivision right next to our church Wednesday.
Bruh.
And so mom is a little bit on edge, and that day he eluded police and they weren't able to catch him. And so I don't know if the police have got him yet or not. But mom is just a little bit on edge this week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so hearing someone making a lot of noise in the other room and having no idea who it is,
probably not good.
It's not good. But
yeah,
as soon as we finish the pod, I'll have to go down there and check on her and make sure she's all right. And
is it just you and your mom there?
Yeah, it's just me and my mom. My dad.
Where's your other mom?
My dad and the rest of my brothers are up at a church meeting in Tennessee. And then they'll be back around midnight.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So
all right, what's your take on this Jeremy Grant situation?
Definitely overpaid. Like I said, a similar point I've made for a lot of people for the whole fantasy situation, because that's the main way I keep up with basketball players is how they're doing in fantasy leagues. And Jamari Grant, I will say, or Jerami Grant, yeah, he was a guy that you don't draft. But if you have a lot of your guys get injured, he's one of those guys you can kind of fall back to just get you through each fantasy week.
It's just so sad.
And in this whole situation, seeing a player, I mean, why is he getting paid so much?
I don't know, man.
Like, did he pop off last season or something? Because last year, all I heard was Dame Lillard again, like always.
He's just been a mediocre player. But, I mean, if they trade Dame, kind of sad and kind of sucks. I mean, Damian Lillard should get out of there, and he should have been out there for a while now. But I was really looking forward to him and Scoot playing, bro. Scoot for rookie of the year
requested a trade. I think I heard you mention that earlier, that Dame requested a trade.
Yeah. Yeah, he told them that he specifically wants Miami Heat.
Yeah, he could actually do some damage on Miami.
Yeah. And especially with Gabe Vincent signing with the Lakers, they need a starting point guard, so.
Yeah.
For this whole situation, let's move on from this. I mean, it's painful. Congrats for getting the bag, though. I mean, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks, the worst player in the NBA.
Hey, he can't be that bad. He can't be that bad. Dylan Brooks can't be that bad. Just look at that image. Just, man, he can't be that bad of a player.
Imagine barking up LeBron James and then dropping like 4 points the next game.
Yeah. Like this dude, like we mentioned earlier, he's been trying to act like Draymond. For real. This dude, last season, I don't know if he's been like this the other few seasons, but last season...
Memphis has just been the most annoying team. They're in shambles right now. I don't know if his behavior was linked to Ja Morant, that whole situation.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but Memphis is a train wreck right now.
Yeah.
So, he got out, so I don't know.
Yeah, and who knows? He's going to the Rockets now, right?
Yeah, definitely overpaid, but I mean,
Maybe he'll bring
I
some
don't
def.
know.
Was he even a good defensive player?
Not really. LeBron dropped 40 on him.
Yeah. So I don't
I mean, that
know.
is LeBron, but I mean,
Yeah. So I don't. He'll be a player that they'll definitely have to monitor next season and see how he does.
that's the thing. He's going to the Rockets, though. It's going to take so much for me to keep up with it because the Rockets are going to be barely in the media.
Right. All right. And so rolling with this because we've hit the 50-minute marker. And so there's still four players I want us to talk about. Um,
Westbrook's next.
yep, Russell
All
Westbrook.
right. Despite despite the recent Westbrook hate, the Los Angeles Clippers just stole this man.
For real.
2 years, $8 million. If he would have signed a 1 year, $8 million contract, I'd have been like, all right, bro, just wants to stay in LA for a year, see how things plan out. But 2 years, he's getting paid $4 million a year.
Gosh.
He's worth way more than that.
For real. And we noticed him for some reason when he went to the Clippers, we saw his defense go up and we actually saw him doing a lot better on the Clippers.
Yeah, I mean, he's not shooting the ball great, but he's never been a great shooter. I don't know why people start complaining now.
Right.
He wasn't a great shooter on OKC. Just because he was averaging a triple-double doesn't mean he was knocking down three-pointers.
Right.
But yeah, I'm so shocked.
One of my buddies joining the podcast chat for a second.
Who's the legs?
College mate. But he's a mod. He's a moderator in the Discord, so he has access.
Okay.
He has
I was
access
like-
to this chat. But I didn't think we'd see
yeah,
him
I mean-
popping
That's so crazy.
in. So yeah, that $8 million for Russell Westbrook,
Mm-hmm.
that's a steal. That's a steal.
That's insane.
I mean,
It's so
when you see
insane.
someone like Jerami Grant who doesn't deserve it get paid $40 million.
I
a year,
mean, what if you would have signed Westbrook on a 2 year, $40 million contract? I would have still said that's a steal.
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
There's guys getting underpaid. There's guys getting overpaid, and I think
That's the thing. Not a lot of people are getting underpaid. A lot of people are grabbing the bag this free agency.
yeah, Westbrook sets that
I don't
outlier.
know.
He's over here
Yeah, I
getting
don't
paid
know.
$8 million for 2 years when everyone else is getting paid like what? D'Lo's 37 for 2 years, and
Yeah, that's still a great contract.
yeah, still a great contract. And then Bruce was 45 for 2 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I take Westbrook over Bruce Brown every day.
For real.
So
All right.
I don't know. I mean, that's not much to talk about. I mean, he's worth way more. I don't know any outliers, outside factors that caused that to happen, but
Right.
I don't know.
All right.
And
now,
D'Angelo, we already tackled on some D'Angelo. There's two more players that you wanted to talk about outside of this list.
yeah,
Okay.
outside of these two, there was two more players that I want to talk about. First one is being Porzingis.
Porzingis.
We
I
men-
mean, we tackled some of this last week, didn't we?
we touched on him last week and mentioning that he was part of that big trade. But
Right.
what do we think he's going to do for Boston?
I hate the Boston Celtics, so you want my honest opinion, or do you want my... I hate Boston's situation. I'll give you both. My honest opinion is I don't think it's much is going to change. Boston's still going to be a top 3 seed in the East.
Yeah.
I mean, he's third option. You know what I'm saying? He's third option. The ball's going to go through Tatum first, Brown second. He's third option. However, I do think Boston's going to be a little bit on the difficult side with finding a good point guard because I don't think Derek White is a good starting caliber point guard.
Right.
So it's going to take probably majority of the year for him to even fill that role remotely good enough for a playoff run. So who knows? Porzingis is himself. I mean, it's not a bad pickup, especially for what they gave away. Marcus Smart. So I'm not really mad about it, but I've never been a huge Porzingis fan. So,
All right.
I mean, it doesn't really bother me as much.
Yep.
Boston's still going to lose in like the first round to freaking, I don't know, Orlando Magic next year, probably.
Bruh. But this last player, you can probably guess who it's going to be already.
You really want to make me cry on the podcast, bro?
Always. John Collins. Why did Atlanta let him go?
Johnny boy, please come back.
Why did Atlanta get rid of John Collins?
Or Rudy Gay of all players. Rudy Gay.
What was the trade-off? I mean, I knew that the Hawks did it basically to clear the budget a little bit so that they can have some more money.
But I mean, clearly they made literally zero moves.
All I've heard is theories, and there was one theory, but I don't even think the Hawks are going to have enough spending budget to make a move on this theory. And it was something that my dad had heard through one source, and he shared it with me.
Mm-hmm.
But clearing the budget so the Hawks could make a move on Siakam.
Pascal Siakam?
Yeah.
Bro, that's a downgrade. Siakam is so mid.
Siakam is like the star player on Toronto right now.
It's not that hard to be a star player on the Toronto Raptors.
Like, legitimately, no, but like, just listen to this. Siakam actually puts up some good numbers.
The only year that he did good was their championship year.
What do you mean?
He's been kind of mid and out of the media ever since.
What do you mean? Literally,
I'm guessing you would die for a Siakam pickup.
What?
I'm guessing you would love the Siakam pickup.
I would love a Siakam pickup. I mean, it sucks to see Collins go. Like, I was attached to that man. He's one of the players in the league that when I started going to basketball games more frequently, and I saw John Collins on the court, he was one of the reasons I liked playing in the paint. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, so can't really do much.
Right.
But watching Collins on the court and how he played down low, and then even still being able to shoot, that made me start working on my posting more, me start working on a fadeaway, start taking some more shot opportunities. And I'm actually thinking I've got a little bit, I think I've actually started getting a little bit better at the game just because of the impact that Collins made on me.
So sad. I'm so mad. I mean, I'm just so mad. Rudy Gay, like...
Yeah. But the reason I think Siakam would be a good trade, right? If you've noticed anything about Toronto, they had, instead of going like a 3 guard, I think they go like a 3 big man. And I think that the Torontos, they've been running a lot of Siakam, Anunoby, and Scotty Barnes. Those 3 men guarding the paint. And every single year, I mean, which I think one thing that hurts Siakam bad after their whole championship run is he actually got a really big injury that, like, he was out most of the season one year. But
he just hasn't came back from that.
What? He hasn't come back from that injury?
Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. I'm not a huge Siakam fan. I'm just not. I mean, I don't think he's a bad player by any means, but I just don't think he's...
Yeah. And, like, even in our fantasy leagues, that we do, I always go the big centers, right? You try and nab Jokic first because he's going to give you your most points. He's going to give you most bang for your buck. And then I try and go another good center, which ends up if they don't get not nabbed, you usually try and go for Gobert or Capella.
Gobert is washed.
He's washed now.
I
I
would
noticed
never
that.
pick Gobert.
Like I used to pick him when.
Bam Adebayo might be the second best center pick for
Oh yeah, he starts
for
home.
fantasy, to be honest.
Um. Uh. So yeah. So. I think Siakam will do good because, like I said, once I get Jokic, I usually look for some good centers, and if I can't really find any good centers, good guys to go for, them guys to double as them power forward centers, and Siakam's always number one on my list when I'm looking for a power forward center, and he doesn't disappoint me every year.
I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna snag him, and then I'm gonna make you trade Stephen Curry for him.
Bro, if you nab Pascal Siakam in our next trade or next NBA fantasy, I will legitimately probably just rage quit that season and not even put any effort into it.
Bro, imagine you just trade Giannis Antetokounmpo for Siakam.
See, now that's going too far, but no, I no, for real. Toronto, they're not the best big men in the league. But every year, if I need some small forwards, power forwards, and centers, Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, and Pascal Siakam are always those guys that are up there on my list that I'm always monitoring every week to see if they're going to help my team.
I just think there's better options.
There definitely is. Like you said, Bam Adebayo, big shout. Man did some really good things last season. And
I mean,
Porzingis pops off every year. Porzingis pops off every year. I think we might see less from Porzingis now that he's on Boston. I don't think we'll see the same Porzingis.
Yeah, you're definitely going to see usage percentage go way down. So, yeah, I mean, who knows?
Who knows? But we have finally hit the hour mark. I mean, well, it's an hour and 2 minutes, but I try to cover that up due to the whole Star Wars rant in the beginning and the phone call. So some of this might get cut out. So those of you who
don't cut it out. If it's an hour 15, it's an hour 15.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to cut out the whole the audio problems.
Yeah. Well, the audio problems they got fixed because remember we stopped the stream.
Right.
And started it back up when we were fixed. So just the first attempt, that's not going anywhere. But this full live stream, most of it's probably staying intact. Like I probably won't edit any of this. Be expecting to see this on YouTube soon. So we're going to be getting that thumbnail ready for you guys, and we're going to be ready to get this video posted on YouTube. So tell your friends and family to come take a peek. For those of you who tuned in live, thank you for showing up and showing your support for episode 2. For episode 2 of More Than a Conversation. We really enjoyed doing this. This was something we look forward to doing every week, especially being one of our passion projects we've thought about for a while. So, to our live viewers, thank you for tuning in. And make sure to hit me with a follow on Twitch and ring the notification bell so you get notified when we go live for episode 3. And just like we mentioned earlier in it, who knows, maybe we'll have basketball part 3 due to all the spiciness going on right now.
The NBA is a wild place.
It is a wild place indeed. So hit me with a follow on Twitch at generally6944. And then also, as I mentioned before, this is all going to my YouTube channel. As you can see in that corner, generally Minecraft. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and you'll see a lot of Minecraft content I do, and you'll also get notifications and see when the podcast hit the YouTube channel if you weren't able to watch the whole thing, or you have friends and family that want to watch it that did not get the chance to see it live. So, as I said, hit me up on those two platforms, and you'll be notified on when episode 3 goes live. So, thank you guys for tuning in. This was fun. This was a blast. And any closing remarks, Forever?
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate all of you. So this is General Lee Minecraft signing out on More Than a Conversation, episode 2.